This is the install video for the +6 mag extensions for the M&P. The newest extensions, we have updated the screw size so they're a little bit bigger and use a 1/16 Allen wrench versus the small 1.3 millimeter. So it's a bit more sturdy in order to be stronger and tighter for taking screws in and out. So these mag extensions themselves will have the screws pre-installed, so the threads are checked and the screws are already in there. You will get extra screws in a baggie. The stock base plates are designed to the size and shape of the frame, so unfortunately they do not work inside of our mag well because the mag well is designed to funnel the mag into the frame. Any mag well that allows stock base plates has a large shelf that goes all the way around the mag well that is very easy to hit with the edge of your mag and stop a mag change, which defeats the entire purpose of a mag well itself. So it's not that we want to sell you extra parts, it's that in order for the mag well to work properly and do what it's supposed to do, enhance your grip and give you a nice seamless funnel into the frame, you also have to update to our plates or extensions. So to get the stock plate off, push in that little tab there and slide the extension forward or the base plate forward, and then remove the locking plate. Some mags will have a steel locking plate on the bottom of it, and it'll have a center tab, a round center tab right in the center. Same thing, push that down, slide it off, and then there'll be like a little hook on the plate that you just turn and pull off of the spring just like that. So on the +6s, sometimes you can have trouble with the slide locking back after the last round. There's just a little less pressure because of the added length to the mag body. And so if you are having issues with the slide engaging the slide lock after the last round, we do sell extra coil springs that will fix that issue. It's not 100% necessary. There's no reliability issues, but sometimes if the springs are a little worn or if the springs are a little understretched from factory, changing out the springs will make it so the slide will lock back. In order to do that, you pull the mag out. You can grab the edge of that spring with some pliers or take a small screwdriver and pull the spring up and pop it off just like that, and then take your new spring and you can push it onto the follower just like that and pop it into the hole. Make sure that the spring angle matches the angle of the follower. I've seen people put them on backwards to where the follower was now tilted the other way. Make sure you put it on right so that when you put it in the mag, the follower looks just like that. All right. So we do recommend putting just a little bit of Loctite on the screws. So you'll take the screw, pull it out, and then put just a little bit of Loctite. Make sure you're using blue Loctite. If you're not using Loctite brand, then some medium strength thread locker. You do not want to use red or the permanent thread lockers because they will make it so you can't take the extension off without ruining it. When you are reinstalling these screws, make sure you don't put too much Loctite on there. You want just a little bit. If you turn to the left first until you feel it start to drop into the threads, and make sure that it is angled properly. This is angled back a little bit, and see I just caught right there. So turn it to the left again until I feel it drop, and then turn it to the right, making sure that wrench is straight up and down with the back angle, not the top angle here. And then turn it all the way to where the screw is underneath this surface here because that is what your mag body is going to slide on. So you can check it before you put it on with the spring. Slide it. As long as it goes past there, then you're good. Push the spring all the way into the mag body, and then from the back, start the mag extension and then push it all the way forward. You heard the click of the spring going down. On the +6s, it's a good idea to check the spring itself. This one, you can see the spring all the way down there at the bottom. It is nice and aligned. Sometimes what will happen is that spring, as it's holding onto here, will actually fold forward to where the face of the spring is on the front here instead of on the bottom. This mag is tight to the extension. Some mags will be a little bit looser, and if the spring is all the way at the bottom, it's going to actually push the mag back like that, and so you'll have to push it forward and hold it forward while you now back the screws out to lock the magazine in place. About 3 to 4 turns. You want that set screw just to be at the top of this surface here. You don't want it any higher. You can just barely see it right there, just below that surface. I'll back it up just a bit more. So this surface around here, around the screw, is what protects the screw head, and that's where you need to be in order to have it in the right position. Any higher than this, and it can make contact with the mag well and prevent you from getting the mags all the way in. So if you ever have issues with the mags not wanting to seat properly, first check and make sure that your screws are not up too high. You want them just there, and you will be able to see some light through that surface in front. That is normal because the mag rails are only bent so far. They're not 100% 90-degree angles. They're slightly tilted like that. And so the mag rail is on this mating surface here, but the body itself actually pops up just a bit because that's how the mags are designed. No issues there, no issues with debris or anything. That is fine, and that is how it is. The mag should, with nothing in it, be able to be pushed forward. Sometimes if you're pushing to the back, it won't click in all the way, but if you push forward, it will click in. So when the mag is fully loaded with 15 plus 6 rounds to make it 21, it is very tight. And so if you're having troubles getting it in with the slide closed, it's probably just because of the extra pressure. If you have the slide locked back and it's hard to get in with a full mag and it's not wanting to click in, then there might be something you need to check those screws, stuff like that, or give us a call and we can walk you through some process. But usually 90% of the time it's just a fully loaded mag and people aren't used to the extra pressure. So again, go over this one more time. Take these screws out that are in there. Apply just a dab of Loctite. Turn to the left until you feel it drop. Make sure that wrench is nice and straight. If it does not want to go down, then you might need to realign the wrench or turn to the left again until the threads feel like it's dropped in place. Make sure that the screw head is just below this surface here so that it can slide on the mag body without interference. If the screw heads are sticking up a little bit, you will not be able to force it onto the mag body. So if it's giving you a lot of trouble, check, make sure those screws or down far enough. This mag is giving more resistance on here than normal. The screw heads do look like they're down properly, but this mag is very tight to this extension. I said some mags are going to go on nice and smooth, super easy, almost, like there's too much play, and other mags are going to have a lot more resistance. Not a big deal if it has more resistance. It's just something to be aware of. They are a mass-produced product where ours are, not quite as mass-produced. We do everything in-house as a small family business. So you heard the spring pop down. I would back this up just a bit. Look in there. Looks like the spring is all the way down. I'm going to take this off and try to redo it again, see if I can get that spring to get stuck in front so I can show you what that looks like. Sounds like it popped down properly again. Yep. So if it did get stuck in front, at this point you wouldn't be able to see the spring in there. So what you do is take a screwdriver or a pick, go forward so that you're at that front because the spring is going to be in the front there. Grab it and then pull it back. You're going to have to push pretty hard down as you pull back, and then it'll pop down into place. After you do that, push it all the way on. It is not quite on there. This mag is very tight. There we go. Now it is all the way on there. And then back the screws out. About 3 to 4 turns, depending on how deep you put that set screw. Look at your set screw, make sure it is not up too high. I can back it up just a bit more. This one, I'm starting to feel resistance on the actual mag rail there. So either that means this isn't pushed back far enough, which it is because the other one went in fine, or this mag has just a bit difference in the rail length on this side. Not a big deal. Again, another reason why we switched to larger screws for the larger wrench, so that if you have that resistance, it's not going to make your wrench strip out as easy. That one just to the tip there. That one's a little bit lower, but it's enough that it has completely captured that mag rail. And there you are. So this is the M&P competitor. We did our competitor porting on there because, well, I mean, why not? The competitor porting is sides only, but they are angled up, and so that it functions as both top and sides. We did try both sides and some ports in here, but this actually is much more effective than trying to do this along with this, because when we're doing both, these two had to be a little bit shorter so they weren't angled up and they were just side ports. Top porting reduces muzzle rise, while side porting reduces the recoil impulse, which actually leads to most of the muzzle rise. That's why our side porting actually is more effective. That is our competitor porting, which led to our enforcer porting because it was so effective that it actually is more effective than our commander porting, which is top and sides, and we move the front sight back. So this is our latest version of the enforcer porting, which is 2 larger side ports that go straight out, but they're also slightly angled up to function as both top and sides. Very, very effective. It works great. We do a back bore in there so that the the bullet can travel through freely without a back bore. What you get is that sharp edge of these ports will actually peel off pieces of the bullet jacketing and they'll fly out of the ports. So the competitor works awesome, and the enforcer porting just is fantastic. This is the M&P metal frame compact. It's got that compact grip on there. We did our enforcer porting. We did the command or Defiance design on there, and then we did a tungsten and black battle worn, which looks pretty awesome on there, along with our magwell and mag extensions. So that is the install for the +6 extensions for the M&P.